It all started about 5 months after I married my husband Reese. We had been together for years, and everything seemed perfect: minimal fights, great communication, and so much love. Reese was kind, funny, and adored my family. Our life together was everything I had hoped for, and when we got married, it was like a dream come true. Before we tied the knot, Reese bought us a rescue dog, a shepherd mix we named Potato, or Poe for short. Poe was our little companion, always with us on camping trips, beach days, and even hanging out at home. Reese and I would work out together, cook together, and it was like a picture-perfect life. Then things started to change. Around March, Reese began feeling off. He complained of brain fog, migraines, and soon, he couldn't even keep up with his work. His health deteriorated, and eventually, he was laid off from his job. He started sleeping all the time and barely ate. It felt like he was slipping away, and after a lot of convincing, he finally saw a doctor. The diagnosis was unclear, but he was prescribed antidepressants and told to eat more, even though I knew we already ate well and worked out. But I hoped the meds would help. One night, I was watching TV when Reese came out of his office, looking exhausted. I asked him about his day, but he barely acknowledged me, slamming the bathroom door. That wasn't like him. He always communicated, even when he was down. The next day, there was no apology, and when I tried to talk to him, he shut me out, saying things I didn't understand. He was irritable, and when I pressed him, he snapped at me. I noticed a foul smell from him in his office, but I didn't know what to make of it. Days passed, and Reese stayed locked in his office. I was scared to confront him, but I knew something was wrong. One day, he left, and I saw it as my chance to figure out what was going on. I forced open his office door and found the worst thing I could have imagined. The room was a nightmare: vomit, chunks of hair, decaying teeth in the trash, and blood on the carpet. The smell was unbearable. I ran to the bathroom and threw up. I called his brother, Chris, and he came over. We both saw the horror in the office, and after talking to him, we decided to get Reese to the doctor. But when Reese came home, he ignored both of us, locking himself back in his office like we didn't exist. Chris suggested I give him space and call a therapist for advice, but I knew something was terribly wrong. A week passed with no change, and the smell from the office grew worse. The therapist I spoke to didn't believe me. She suggested I was imagining things. Then, the sounds started. Gurgling noises came from his office at night, like he was choking. One night, I made the mistake of looking under the door. My heart nearly stopped as I saw his bony, raw feet stumbling around. His skin was flayed, his body deteriorating, and there was maggot-filled flesh trailing behind him. His voice was garbled, like someone drowning in mud. In the corner of the room, I could see one of his eyeballs, surrounded by FLIs. It's been 5 days since I saw that scene. The sounds continue, his voice unrecognizable. Poe is still scratching at the door, whining. I'm shaking as I write this, my head pounding like I've been hit by a truck, and I feel something crawling behind my eyes. I don't know how much longer I can take this. Follow for part 2.